Hello, today we're covering 8.4, Areas of Composite Figures. So follow along in your textbook on page 340. We're going to start with example 1, finding an area using grid paper, found on page 340. So we need to find the area of the yellow figure. So to start, I need to count all of the square units. So I'm going to count this rectangle first. And composite figures, just to explain that, it's just where figures are composed of different shapes that are put together. So here we have a rectangle that's 4 by 8, which is going to equal 32 square units inside here. And here I have 3 by 3, which would be 9. On this side, I have 3 more squares. And over here, I have 1 square. So when I add these up together, 32 plus 9 and 1 is 10. So that's 42, 43, 44, 45 whole squares. So I'm going to multiply it by 1 whole square. So this is 45 square units. The last part I need to measure are these triangles. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles here. But if you notice, the triangles only take up half of a square. So I'm not going to count these as full units. I'm going to count these as half units. And 5 times 0.5, or half of 5, is 2.5. So when I add up these total units together, I get 47.5 square units as the total. So all you have to do is count them. Remember, triangles only count as half a unit. Right now, I'd like you to try on your own numbers 1 and 2. Find the area of each of the shaded figures. And remember to break it up into full squares and then those partial triangles. Example 2 is finding an area, and we need to find the area of the portion of the basketball court that's shown. So I see 2 shapes here. I see a circle and I see a rectangle. But if I count the whole circle here, and then I count the rectangle over it, I am counting this shaded part twice, and we don't want to double count. So here's what I recommend. It's easiest to count or to find the area of a rectangle. So here, let's start by finding the area of the rectangle. We know the length is 19 and the width is 12. So I'm going to multiply this area of 19 times 12. You may use a calculator if you wish, and you should get a total area of 228 square feet. Now I'm going to find the area of this semicircle. And if you look, the semicircle here is just half of that original circle. Now, I can see the diameter of this whole distance is 12 feet long, but for area formula of a circle, we need the radius. So we have to take half of 12, which is 6. So area of the circle is 3.14 times 6 squared, which is 36. And then we have to divide that by 2. So when you calculate that, multiply 3.14 times 36, then divide by 2, and you get 56.52 square feet. And so now, to find the total area, you add the parts together. 228 plus 52 or 56.52 gives you a total area of 284.52 square feet. And now you've just found the area of this composite figure composed of a rectangle and a semicircle. Example 3 is finding the area, and this time we have 3 different shapes that are put together. You have a triangle here, you have a rectangle, and then over here you have a parallelogram. I've given you the formulas for each of those 3 shapes, but I hope that you would have these memorized. Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. So here the base is 11.2, and the height here is 4.5. So I'm going to multiply those together and then divide it by 2. So I get the total area of the triangle as 25.2 centimeters. Now the rectangle is 4.5 times 8. So I usually assign the length for the longer side, 8 times 4.5. And when you multiply those together, you would get about 36, or exactly 36. And the last shape is the parallelogram. It's just simply base times height. So you just multiply 8 times 6.7. And when you multiply those together, it equals 53.6. Now we're not finished yet because now we have to take up the sum of all the parts together to find the total area. So we're going to add 25.2 plus 36 plus 53.6. When you add them all up, you get 114.8 square centimeters, written like this. Right now, I'd like you to try on your own numbers 3 and 4. Here you have a rectangle and a triangle. Remember, the formula for triangles is 1/2 base times the height. This would be your base, and here would be your height. At number 4, make sure you notice that there are 4 semicircles. 4 semicircles would mean that these two figures could come together and form a circle. So you have to ask yourself, how many circles would you be able to make with the 4 semicircles? Then add up those circles with the square on the inside, and you can see the dimensions here. Don't forget, they give you the diameter, but you need to find the radius. So make sure you cut that in half. Your exit ticket is to find the area. Now they give you the dimensions here, and you need to find the area of this arrow. So look here. You see this distance is 1 here from here to here. Same thing. And the height is 6. The height here is 5. So go ahead and try to decompose this figure. You might need to draw it out on grid paper to help you. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll go over this in class tomorrow. I hope you have a great evening. Bye-bye.